Hey everyone, Guinea here. So yeah, what was the first bestiality, homosexual, adulterous, polygamous act that happened in human history? Well, none other than the fall of man, the illicit sexual relationship between Lucifer and Eve. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is some canonized new statement that's going out there. This is just my own theory, my own realization, and it's something that I want to share with people. I hope that I'm not becoming some type of uh, intellectual guy that's going into an intellectual fantasy land where I make up my own theology in a way. But it's just interesting how this kind of makes sense. And you guys are always welcome to argue uh, against me or just with me about these type of topics. I'd be happy to discuss things like this. So, just to make this video easier for you to understand, I'm going to post up two videos after this video. One being God as a Dude to understand the relationship between God and Adam and Eve. And also, what was the other video? Right. Why it makes sense Lucifer had sex with Eve. Yeah, what was the original intent of God's ideal, right? It's to create an object partner that he can freely give love to. And this object partner would receive that and return a free will of beauty and love and respect, right? So over here, right, we learn that God is the Father, right? And he has created his son, and he wants his son to inherit Christ's spirit from God, right? In a way for Adam to become perfect. So they have this perfect union where God is this subject masculine spirit who is entering into Adam's subject masculine body, right? Because God needs a body in order to experience giving and receiving love from his object partner. So that is the first blessing, in which is to be fruitful, right? And then with the second blessing is the marriage, right? So this is the marriage between Christ and the bride, who is supposed to be Eve, who is supposed to be the person who has manifested the Holy Spirit, the comforting spirit, right? So they have this beautiful heterosexual relationship between Christ and Eve, right? And then after that would be the third blessing, which is taking dominion over all of creation, even dominating through love the angels, because angels too are a part of creation. They don't have free will, right? They're a part of creation. So and then we learn in the fall of man of what happened is that everything got into reverse, right? Lucifer, who is a male servant, right, who is a part of creation, now is not seen from God's point of view, right? Leaves his proper position and then starts to dominate everything, essentially dominates Adam, right? And then multiplying evil, which meaning is having children born of original sin who are now replenishing the earth in that way, right? So here's an interesting theory that came up to me during my course of studying the fall and studying Lucifer, right? Is if you check out in this new chart, this is something that I made. Again, it's a theory. Lucifer is a male servant. It's pretty obvious that when reading the Bible, the angels are male beings, especially when you learn about the male angels coming down and giving birth to the Nephilim through the daughters of men, right? And also, Lucifer is a beast in a way. Now, the Bible has described him to be like a snake, and we know that that's not literal, but there's a certain meaning behind that. But the thing is, angels, they don't have free will, just like the rest of creation doesn't have free will. And yet, human beings have free will. So this is what differentiates between us and them, is that we're supposed to be the children of God. So here's the interesting thing is that Lucifer, having a male spirit, really has actually had this fallen first blessing type of relationship with Eve, but Eve is a female being, as opposed to, let's say, the first blessing between God and Adam is these two heterosexual beings that are coming together in unity, right? And essentially wanting to have a beautiful sexual relationship with the bride. So it's this beautiful heterosexual relationship. Instead, Lucifer, being this male servant, this male spirit, is encapsulating into Eve, but also he's kind of like a beast, a creature that has no free will, and Eve is becoming one with that. So in a way, it's like an adulterous and a bestiality kind of relationship. After the spiritual fall then became this physical fall, right, where we learn that Eve dominated Adam through this sexual relationship, right? Well, in a way, she's like a false subject feminine being who is now encapsulating a male spirit inside of her and now having this sexual relationship with Adam. So in a way, Adam was actually having a spiritual homosexual relationship with Lucifer through Eve. Because why? It's these two subjects that are dominating for that position. You know, usually with a heterosexual relationship, a God-centered heterosexual relationship, it's the subject and the object that are completely united, and they just have this beautiful dance and this beautiful harmony. But with a homosexual relationship, which is unnatural, it's like these two subjects that are prying for this position, right? So it's a very unnatural act in which, again, the spirit of homosexuality came from there, such as the spiritual aspect of bestiality came between Lucifer and Eve. So, and why a polygamous relationship? Well, because Eve had sex with Lucifer and now is having sex with Adam, right? Multiple partners. And then through that, this is where now, since Lucifer can work through his children in generations down the road, where it's just a world of relativism, where now that the spirit of that is there, bestiality, homosexuality, polygamy, adultery, right? Now people who have original sin actually manifest that. Now, obviously not everybody, you know, people have a conscience, and some people do live a God-centered lifestyle, even if they do have original sin. But these are very unnatural acts that no human being should behave in, and yet it is by their own free will, and it's something that it has been inherited through the fall of that type of spirit, in which we have the world of relativism. That's why it makes a lot of sense that a lot of Satanists would worship Baphomet, because Baphomet is Satan, who has encapsulated all these things of creation and man and woman all disgustingly mixed and complex together, right? With the goat head and man arms and breasts and goat legs. So this is a very disgusting being in which all of society, all of fallen society has, in a way, is the macrocosm of such a being, such as Baphomet. Baphomet being like the microcosm of the fallen culture that's been developed. So that's it for today. I know that this was kind of a weird topic, but I thought it was just kind of interesting to actually say it out there. And I think this is something that I hope that we could reflect on the beauty of a God-centered heterosexual relationship, where it's a beautiful thing, where it creates order and it creates beauty and it creates true love, and it's something that all of mankind should really go for and do away with such satanic ways that actually came from the beginning. So I love you all. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Peace out. Mwah.